So one thing I've mentioned before is that I'm obsessed with getting more out of the things you already own. And one thing a lot of us own is an iPhone. Ever since the iPhone X, the one feature that I've always wanted to get more out of is Face ID.
Face ID. Face ID. Face ID.
I mean, it's a few years old now, but this technology is crazy. Like, it's not unlocking your phone by seeing your face using the front-facing camera. No, because then it wouldn't work in the dark, or you'll be able to fool it with a picture. But you can't, because it's actually using a bunch of super sophisticated sensors in this notch. And using an IR camera, you can see that Apple's true depth camera system is shooting over 30,000 infrared dots all over my face. It's then scanning those dots to build a mathematical model to make sure it's me. Doing all this pretty much in an instant, just to unlock my phone. So knowing all this, for a long time, I've wanted to turn my iPhone into a high quality 3D scanner. And even though there are a lot of photogrammetry 3D scanning apps out there, there are only a few that actually utilize iPhone's IR sensors for more detailed 3D scanning. They all kind of vary in terms of quality and functionality, but they're all pretty fun. And the one that really got my attention is this one called Higis. Higis? Anyway, it produces super detailed scans, but I don't know if I'm using the app wrong or maybe my phone's too old, but sometimes the scans would turn out super glitchy. I love how these look, but I don't want to just take selfies all day. I want to use this technique in a photo shoot, but here's the problem. Let's say I invite over a model. In order to 3D scan them, I'd have to hold the phone in a way where I can see what's going on the screen while trying to scan them. It'd be very awkward. Yeah. And technically speaking, some iPhones have a LiDAR on the back of them, which can be used for 3D scanning, but the quality and resolution of the LiDAR scanner is just garbage compared to the Face ID sensors. So here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna use this camera monitor with a lightning to HDMI adapter to mirror the iPhone's display. So the reason I'm using these camera monitors is because they have two very important features. Once it's mirroring the iPhone screen, they allow you to zoom in and mirror the screen, since the Face ID sensors are facing the opposite direction. And lastly, I'm gonna try to use this MagSafe phone holder so the iPhone can be easily removable. So this is the hard part. I need to design something to hold all these objects together. Now, the easiest way to approach something complex like this is to just Frankenstein the objects together first. Now that the general form is defined, I can grab some rough measurements and then move on to detailed drawings. And now we move to the digital side. This is kind of the boring part. The only noteworthy thing here is that I added these tabs to some of the corners to help with bed adhesion during 3D printing. Now let's get back to the more interesting stuff. I came across this ribbon HDMI cable that's super thin, and it's perfect because this way I can actually run it through the handle, like so. Okay, so now I just need someone to model for me.
Hey!
What the, Andrea? So the quality of the scans range from pretty cool to PlayStation 2 and PCs. And just surreal. We also experimented with colored lighting. And then Andrea's partner Corey ended up joining for a few scans too. After a painstaking amount of photoshopping, I turned a few of my favorite scans into posters and got them framed for my apartment. I went to a local FedEx office to get this done, and the wildest thing happened. You see, when you get a poster this big done with FedEx, they'll print out a form for you to sign. The form will have a small preview of what your poster will look like, and it's for you to check that the colors and everything look good before they run the actual print. It's called an oversized proof approval form. And what happened was the very nice lady at FedEx accidentally printed out this form in the size of the actual poster. After I signed it, they actually let me keep it, so I obviously had to frame and put that up too. Anyway, I ended up finding a supplier that makes really nice quality framed prints. So if you want to own one of these and support my channel, check out my store linked below. I'll also be selling puzzles of these as well. They'll come in either 520 pieces, which took me a few days to complete, or 252 pieces, which took my dad just a few hours. Okay. Thank you to Andrea and Corey for letting me shoot with them. Check out their Instagrams linked below. They're both so cool and creative, and I had so much fun working with them. I had a lot of fun working on this project in general, and I think it's because it kind of combines my passions for both art and design. I learned so much working with this 3D scanner, and I feel so satisfied with both the design and art outcomes from this project. I might do more videos like this where I challenge myself to design tools for making art. I don't know, maybe. Let me know if you guys would be into that. And if you've been following my Instagram, you would know that I've been messing around with this project for a few years now, actually. And the Hijaz app has actually been updated a few times since I started. It doesn't actually glitch out as much as it used to, for better or worse, but it's honestly a pretty amazing app. Shout out to the people who made it. This project wouldn't have been possible without you. I love this just as a portable 3D scanner now that only occasionally glitches. And on another note, another approach to this design would have been to actually use a mirror to reflect the Face ID sensors forward. There's a few designs for this online, and the only reason I didn't end up doing that and I went with this rig was just because having the screen's angle adjustable made scanning a bit more ergonomic to use. But if you want to give this project a go with a more straightforward design and cheaper setup, definitely check out the other designs. I'll leave a few links to those below, along with the design for this. One thing I forgot to mention about this design is that I actually embedded magnets inside the handle as well. And the reason is because if I ever use the camera monitor elsewhere, the HDMI cable won't have to dangle around. It can be secured right here at the top. And final thing, huge thank you to everyone who bought one of my IDIM hats and sent me photos. These photos made me so happy, so thank you guys so much for sending them in. And I want to thank the donators too. This time we have Chris from Station Level 0, sweet Etsy shop, man. Kian Dowd and Diego Rivera again, thank you both for the continuous support. Ricardo Room from Germany, thank you. Aibang Taiwan, xie xie. And thank you Shaggy Historian, Dwight Blankenship. I'm glad you find my videos helpful. Joseph Ransom, thank you for the kind words. Christopher Delvin, Jessica Smithson, and Leandro Toledo. Thank you to the anonymous donators too as well. I see you, and thank you all so much for supporting my work. And that's pretty much everything. Thanks for watching.